Welcome inside Gore Arena here in Bowie's Creek, North Carolina for Big South women's basketball. The UNC Asheville Bulldogs coming to town, taking on the Campbell Fighting Camels, who are coming off 2 straight losses. You don't see that every day in the Big South. These two teams want to win tonight. Welcome to courtside with Debbie Taylor, Evan Budjevich, reminding you that this Campbell team hasn't lost 2 straight all season. They look to bounce back with a win tonight. How do they find their confidence, especially on the defensive end?
Well, if you ask Coach Ronnie Fisher, they go back to doing what they do best, and that's playing disciplined defense. They're one of the top defensive teams in the country, 12th in the nation, holding opponents to 53 points per game. So I think they're going to get back and come out with some defensive energy and some defensive discipline. Both
these teams are coming off losses, so it's important for UNC Asheville tonight. You mentioned Debbie guarding the three-point line, and you're asking Campbell to make their shots from 3 to sort of counter that as well.
Yeah, Campbell has multiple weapons from behind the three-point arc, but has a difficult time scoring in the second half of their last game. So really looking to put the ball in the basket, which I guess is the case in every game. But Coach Fisher's saying making shots tonight is going to be a big key.
You mentioned scoring points. Neither of these teams over 65 a game. Could be a race to 60. And the way this series has gone all time, splitting the last 12 meetings, it could be a fun one. Taya Bolden and Amanda Blake on the opening tip. And Campbell starts with the ball here at home. But they've had a nice record, 8-2 in this building, but 2 straight losses at home.
Asheville coming out man-to-man defense. Bolden with the ball, nice drive baseline, but the block.
Amanda Blake, the sophomore from Phoenix, with the shot block. And here's why tonight's game matters. UNC Asheville has some work to do in the conference. Honey Brown, the first to admit it. And for Ronnie Fisher's unit, trying to maintain that top spot.
Well, and Honey Brown telling us her team is still learning. They've had some players back from injury. They're learning, they're growing. They've got a lot of growth potential. So they're going to try to get some wins down the stretch. And for Campbell, getting back on track and hanging on to that first place position is going to be key with this win tonight.
What a nice defensive start for UNC Asheville. A club that has 2 standout scorers, Nadiria Evans, who's second in the league in scoring, and Kai Carter, the junior. She can score as well, 15 a night.
Both of those players are going to have to be guarded. They're going to be at focus of the Campbell defense. So athletic, able to create their own shots, score in multiple ways. Certainly a focus of the Campbell defensive plan tonight.
So Ivy on the shot fake finds Blake, and she goes to the free throw line. Already an assertive start for UNC Asheville. And they know the struggles of playing this Campbell defense. Honey Brown very honest about, and we have to score the ball more when we play Campbell, so getting to the line early.
Yeah, nice job penetrating, hitting a gap, and dishing off. And getting Blake to the free throw line. Looks like she's got a contact issue right now.
Let's see if she can find that contact lens. Oh my gosh, this would be incredible. A one-eyed free throw shot. Squinting, holding on for dear life. And add some funky form to it with a swish.
Got a little shot fake on the free throw.
Of all the 26 free throws Amanda Blake has taken this year, that could have been the toughest.
She's got this squint going on. She knocks down 1 or 2.
Sort of explains it with that second attempt. Asheville is a team 68% from the line, so keep an eye on that. Campbell starting 5, returns Shai Tooley back in the lineup for her second straight game. And a lineup, Debbie, you mentioned it, in the fourth quarter on Monday, only 5 points scored. That's a tough way to win a basketball game.
Yeah, that was an even game going into the last 5 minutes, and then North Carolina A&T just turning up the heat, and Campbell just unable to put the ball in the basket, and that game got out of hand quickly. Beautiful pass.
Bolden with a rare miss underneath. She's the Campbell's top scorer at 14 a game. You see a bit of that frustration from the sixth-year seniors. Campbell the first to know it. They lost a game on Monday without offense and a little bit of a slow start today.
Well, and you get those easy ones. You want to make sure you make them, especially off that beautiful assist.
So the Camels back to work with a fresh 20. Faith Price lost it. Here's Nadiria Evans. So electric in transition and all the way to the bucket. The Asheville starting 5 features Miss Evans, 18-point-a-game scorer. Carter and Adams, excellent guards. And keep an eye on Jordiana Ivy, standout freshman, getting her minutes this year.
UNC Asheville defense, they've come out with a lot of energy. Another beautiful drive and dish, and Bolden able to finish on that one.
Taya Bolden is sitting on records, 12 rebounds away from a program record. and she's trying for her 10th double-double in 13 games as Evans is fouled, and we'll say that a lot tonight. No player in the conference takes more free throws than Nadiri Evans, and that's the challenge for Ronnie Fisher's club. How do they stop Evans from getting to the line?
By committee. We talked to him about it, earlier today, and he's like, somebody always has to be in the gap when she has the ball, because if her player can't keep her in front of her due to her tremendous quickness, somebody's got to be in that gap to be the help.
And Debbie, from your coaching days, Ronnie just took off his suit jacket. It's all business 2 minutes into this first quarter.
Serious.
Nadiri Evans, this is impressive. 120 free throw attempts, and we still have a month to go in the season.
She definitely can create her own shot and explode to the rim. She really has got a great first step. One of the most explosive players in the league.
So 3 quick points for Evans. Staves thought about a 3, works it into Bolden, who shot just 30% on Monday. Tough go of it and a loss to NCA&T. It's good defense from the Bulldogs early. So Price comes up strong on the 2.
Bulldog defense looking strong right now. They're handling the ball screens well. They're closing out well on shooters. Nice drive and dish again. Several times now being able to get into the heart of the Campbell defense.
So last touch by Asheville. Honey Brown in year 7 with this program, but second year as the head coach for UNC Asheville. And she knows with a young roster, it's going to take a minute to develop this core.
She told us the other day, and we didn't know that she played basketball at Maryville, and she was just a pretty good three-point shooter, but she played for Wes Moore, who's now the head coach at NC State.
That was the hidden part of the conversation. I didn't realize at Maryville she was the top three-point shooter in the program when she left all time, and now Wes Moore doing some great things at NC State. She keeps that tradition alive.
Coming off the stagger screen.
That's
one dribble
tough
pull up
shot for Kai Carter, who's not afraid to shoot that mid-range. It's an improved part of her game at 15 points a night. Campbell hasn't scored in 3 minutes, looking to find something offensively. And Bolden's got the board. Gets her. Is that technically a rebound now? I'm not sure.
I mean, I'm giving it to her. She's 5'10". She plays so much bigger than 5'10".
Trying to pad her stats in the first quarter with 3 boards. Staves with a nifty finish, but can't hit.
And Bolden's matched up tonight with 6'2" sophomore Amanda Blake, and that's going to be a fun matchup to watch as this game moves forward.
Nadiria Evans does it again. She is electric and goes to the free throw line. Here's what these teams do well, Debbie, and it's interesting. You mentioned Campbell's defense coming in. Asheville has struggled with turnovers, 16 a game, and they don't assist the ball at a high rate. But this player right here, Nadiri Evans, gets the job done.
She does. She's like the backbone of this team. I mean, it's amazing. She's just leads them in steals, leads them in assists, second in the Big South in scoring. I mean, a little bit of everything.
And Evans, a fifth-year senior out of Gainesville, really elected to come back and try to rebuild this program. They graduated 2 starters last year, but she came back. And a young group, as here's Jamia Blake, her first minutes, the sophomore from Rock Hill.
It's that same set, just on the opposite side of the court. Stagger screen, they're gonna go into a handoff. Now they're gonna try to make a play, good defense, and there's the gap right there. Close it up. Faith Price comes over and able to get the steal, and here she is from behind the arc, and money.
Her first 3 of the night, the conference's leader in triples gets going.
She averages almost 3 a game. She's made 5 or more threes in 6 games this season. She can certainly shoot it. You have to know where she is at all times.
She now ranks 11th in the country in three-point make, so getting it done at the highest level. Wilson wants her turn, and that's not even close. Sometimes you see those hot shooters get going, you take a turn yourself from 3.
I wouldn't call that the best shot, but both defenses right now making things difficult for the opponent. Good ball pressure. Getting shots late into the shot clock and contested shots. And as a coach, that's either from a defensive perspective, you either want to steal that you can convert, or you want to really force your opponent into a contested shot and secure the rebound.
Both these teams forced nearly 20 turnovers a game, so that'll be something to watch in this first quarter. Campbell had a season high 23 giveaways on Monday, and there's another with Price on the travel. You wonder how much of it's mental for these young athletes coming off tough losses for both teams over the weekend and now needing a bounce-back win here tonight.
Well, now with some of the rescheduled games for these teams, it's one day of prep and they're playing again, so there's a lot of games squeezed into a short period of time.
There's a nice finish. So Evans with 5 quick points, actually now 6. So she's red hot early. And that's sort of the story with Evans. She'll average nearly 40% of the offense, scoring and assist making. That's so critical for Honey Brown's club.
You can't guard her one-on-one. You're going to need help. And then
now
when you
Evans
help off,
takes a charge.
Yeah.
So smart play for the senior.
She's doing it all right now. That senior experience, especially at this point in the season, seniors, juniors have the mental and physical toughness to keep going.
Timeout on the court. UNC Asheville coming to play here in this first quarter on ESPN+.
The right way to top a sub is with real red wine vinegar made from red grapes and no food coloring. And the right way to film it is in slow motion, obviously. Because authentic ingredients make a sub above.
Woo! Papa John's just took their fresh, never frozen dough and hand stretched it into thin, oversized New York-style slices. I mean, look at that crust! That is the perfect crust thickness no matter how you eat it. So you can fold it, or not. But I ain't gonna lie though, I fold it. Get a New York-style pizza from Papa John's. Better ingredients, better pizza.
There's not a secret to what actually happens behind the scenes at a bank. Here at First Citizens, we're trying to educate the client in each step of what's actually going to happen and actually have them make the educated decision around what steps and what options they utilize. We want to become that trusted advisor that actually guides them down that road, helping you reach your goals. That's Forever First.
It's bow time. The workday might be ending, but your family's hunger is still gearing up for the night shift. Now you could unload groceries, chop, dice, mince, preheat, heat, slap around the smoke detector, and then celebrate with a big old pile of dishes. Or you could just drop a big bow box on it. Because when you can feed the family with 12 Supremes, fixins, biscuits, and tea, you can clock out and still spend some well-earned quality time with a delicious dinner. It's bow time.
In the last 10 years, Emerge Orthopedics has really been on the forefront of doing orthopedic urgent care. We realize that a lot of these accidents happen after hours and patients want to get seen and get diagnosed and get taken care of. Emerge has a number of orthopedic urgent cares throughout the Triangle, and some of which are open 7 days a week, open till 9 o'clock at night, and that's been a huge benefit to patients. Patients routinely give us compliments on that and the care they receive there.
The right way to top a sub is with real red wine vinegar made from red grapes and no food coloring. And the right way to film it is in slow motion, obviously. Because authentic ingredients make a sub above.
This Big South broadcast is brought to you by Hercules Tires, right on our strength. Ingles, low prices, love the savings. Sunbelt Rentals, we have equipment for that. And First Citizens Bank, forever first. You know what's not first? Not the first time these teams have met, because all time you go back to the 1880s when these teams first met, and recently it's been all Campbell winning 4 of the last 6, but Asheville's had a lot of success in the tournament.
Well, last season it was a tight one. Campbell able to squeak out the win at the end, but a close contest.
There's Blake going to work downstairs. And that doubleheader here, back-to-back days, both games single-digit contests. Asheville had their season postponed due to COVID after that game, so not a real chance to close out the campaign.
Christabel Azuma in the lineup now, the sophomore from Georgia for Campbell, and she got some good minutes the other night after coming off an ACL tear last season and came in and had 6 points and 5 rebounds in only 7 minutes of action. So starting to work her way back into the lineup and gives them some good size.
As you know, coming off injuries is one of the toughest things. That'll be a big presence down low, guard Blake. Taya Bolden checks out early in this first, and there's another offensive foul. It's Blake on the pick. See how tight the officials call this game tonight with Deanna Jackson's crew. So the 58th all-time meeting. Gosh, you could write a book with these two teams meeting. And certainly last time they met, very close. Asheville has not had a win in 4 matchups, so that'll be on the line tonight.
Well, and they're coming off a fairly bad loss to Winthrop, and it's, you never want to play a team after they haven't played well and they come off a bad loss, so they typically come out fired up and ready to go.
Azuma's fired up off the bench. That's a nice layup on the mismatch.
She really gives them some much added size and depth in the post. This is going to be nice for Campbell coming down the stretch to the conference tournament.
You're seeing the future of Campbell down low with Bolden set to graduate. Saranya, the senior herself, runs the point. This offense, bit of a scoring drought late in this first quarter. One item that Honey Brown mentioned, the defense in Nadiria Evans has stepped up a ton this year. However, Carter fouls Nuremberg on the other end.
Nice hesitation move there for Nuremberg, and a little switch on that screen, but not too well defended. It gave Nuremberg some room to turn the corner, and she's got some good size and strength, and she powers her way to the rim.
Swenya had just 2 points on Monday in 16 minutes. That third tier of offense is going to be important for Campbell this year. Not just, of course, Bolden and Saranya, who are double-figure scorers.
She was part of that championship team when she was a freshman, and Coach Fisher telling her she was kind of the glue of that team. And you see she does a little crafty move with her dribble and is able to use her length and her size to get to the rim.
Adds to the lead here with 3 minutes left in this first quarter. You mentioned the loss for Asheville on Saturday. 21-point loss in conference, their worst of the season. Honey Brown trying to wipe the slate. And Kai Carter helps the Cos with a lay-in.
There's another gap in the defense that Kai Carter exploits. Since one dribble, she gets right to the rim. And the defense there, another deflection, knock it down, and another turnover for Campbell.
So Ivy gets her hands on it. Good crossover from Adams setting up the attack. Faith, the junior, out of Murfreesboro, Tennessee.
Now, this is a Nashville team that's lost 7 of their last 8 games, but they do not look like that at all right now.
Playing right now the top-ranked team in the Big South. A feisty start to this first quarter. Ivy heaves up a prayer. I think she lost track of the shot clock there. So here's Tatiana Carver with the basketball. Her first minutes in 3 games. Saranya works the baseline, slips it over to Azuma with a foul. That's a pretty and one.
And that's beautiful, and that's what Campbell needs. They need to get their leader, Saranya, going a little bit, and that's a nice baseline drive and a beautiful dish.
I tell you, that hair might be first team all conference. It has some length to it.
I've seen some players as of late tucking their hair in the back of their jersey. Have you seen that? Because long hair's really in, and so many of them, I think, just to get it out of their way, but now tucking it down their jersey into their shorts.
Well, that hair might sneak through her shorts down to her knee guards.
I know, it's beautiful, right?
6'2" sophomore. Her minutes have nearly doubled in conference play. So Ronnie Fisher leaning on his bench. Crazy to think we're halfway through conference play in the Big South. Still a month to go. Nuremberg twirls the lane and she gets fouled. That's the second foul she's drawn in this quarter.
Nice job by the 5'11" junior. Another player coming off an injury. Getting back in the swing of things this season, and here she goes, powering away to the basket again. So many weapons on this Campbell offense. I mean, on any given night, it can be anyone in double figures.
She's also made her free throws at an opportune time. Campbell had their worst free throw shooting game on Monday, just 55% from the line, missed 8 free throws. And when you lose a game at home by double digits, that's a big part of the reason why.
Free throws always make a big difference, especially down the stretch, and quite often you can go back at the end of a loss and say, if I only had made that one.
I do wonder as a player, the amount of free throws you take in practice, it's not like you can magically fix it in one night, so it'll be a neat challenge tonight. See Ronnie Fisher trying to play the 6th man on defense for his club. They allow the 9th fewest points in the country. Nadiri Evans can get a bucket at any time of the day. Can't hit that one.
Well, and that time fairly well defended. You saw the entire defense collapse on the drive to the basket, but the
Active
quick
hands by Evans. Wow. And drives on Fuller, gets a foul. Nadiria Evans doing it all in this first quarter.
Now, you talk about the true two-way player. I mean, we've seen her scoring prowess, but she's also really a strong on-ball defender with quick hands. You got to really take care of the ball if she's your matchup.
Coach Honey Brown mentioning her practice level has elevated to a whole new height this year, and evaluating the opinion of her senior to take leadership. That's shown with her effort on defense too.
For sure. You know, she said one of the marks of her leadership is asking her teammates their opinion and really empowering the freshmen. And sometimes that's the truest indication of leadership, to be able to empower others on your team.
A team with 5 freshmen and the 1 senior. It's Evans at the free throw line. Feels like babysitting half the time with all these young players getting minutes early in the year.
So many sophomores. And so because they're such a young team, you're just going to see them continue to improve throughout the remainder of the season.
Campbell counters with 4 seniors, 3 juniors, an elder roster. They've made their last 3 shots as well. Here's Fuller wide open for 3. And a good rebound by Evans.
Clear out play for Saranya. She drives baseline, makes another good pass.
Haven't said Kai Carter's name much tonight. She goes on Nuremberg. And that'll stay. Oh, it does go a turnover. Thought Saranya may have touched it. Early in this game, Debbie, 7 Campbell turnovers in the first quarter. Asheville only 4. They've been much more stable with the ball.
Yeah, and Coach Fisher telling us his team would have to do a better job taking care of the basketball tonight. And so far, not really filling that order. 7 right now, and they're going to have to clean things up. It's Asheville defense, they have active hands, active feet. They're getting deflections.
5-second difference. Plenty of time for Saranya, and ooh, Ivy got poked and a foul. That's the worst kind of foul there if you're Jordania Ivy.
It looks like she got poked in the, is she holding her nose or her eye? It's hard to tell. Saranya does a great job lowering her defender to the level of the screen, and I think she got looks like an elbow to the eye perhaps.
We saw Amanda Blake lose her contact lens early. Looked very similar there for Ivy. As the officials will take a look and just double check here. Case of a flagrant foul.
We see Saranya here doing a nice job using the ball screen. Bring your defender down to the level of the screen. Using her dribble, crosses it back over.
Maybe her hair actually got her, as you kind of saw it on the back end there.
Or a finger to the eye perhaps. Nonetheless, that can't feel good.
So the officials are checking for a possible flagrant. This angle may help.
Yeah, that's just a basketball play right there.
I think the consensus is hair from the crowd.
Perhaps.
I saw elbow there, a little bit of arm. Nothing flagrant, though. That's what the officials explain.
I think we're going to play on here.
My brother, as a kid, hit me a lot in the eye to kind of toughen me up. Like, he'd push me out of bed and have me hit the nightstand.
Just never feels good. It's just it takes a little while to get your vision back and just to.
I've never been hit by hair, though. That'd be a new one.
Well, this is the first time for everything.
I guess those beads at the end of the hair locks, you got to be careful. So, Campbell in the bonus the rest of this quarter. Saranya to the free throw line. Searching for her first points. I mentioned the all-time history with these clubs. Split the last 12 meetings in Ronnie Fisher's tenure. All 12 of those games decided by 10 or less.
Nice minutes by Christabel Azuma. Just giving Bolden a little bit of a rest. We talked about it. These players at this point in the season, the number of games they're playing on the makeup games due to COVID protocol. And then you're in February. You've played a lot of games. You're mentally tired. You're physically tired. So getting Coach Ronnie Fisher saying, perhaps I didn't play as many players as I needed to the other night, so we were fresh at the end of the game. So getting some of his players a rest early.
That fresh legs results in a 10-second violation.
It's a really tough equation to figure out as a coach as to how many players to play to create the chemistry and, to keep the continuity going. But at this stage of the game, if you have kids that can get out there and give you some minutes, it's a great idea.
Each team has had 10 players check in tonight total, so a lot of depth so far.
5 seconds on the clock.
Tully looks up with 1. This is off in time, but short. So a rush shot to end the first quarter. Campbell leading by 3 early. When we come back, the second quarter. You're watching Big South women's basketball on ESPN+. UNC Asheville riding a prolific scoring tandem. That's 33 points a game from Evans and Kai Carter, who tonight have combined for 10 of the 11 points for Asheville, so getting the job done.
They are certainly the centerpiece of this team, and how nice to have that just bookends that can do this and can score in a lot of ways, give your team some versatility.
UNC Asheville trying to break a funk here recently. 4 straight losses. And a team that's finally healthy. They've had a lot of injury issues early in conference play. Svenja Nuremberg with some tight defense, and we have a late whistle. Okay, a touch foul on Campbell, I believe.
This is really turning into a defensive battle. I mean, we know that Campbell hangs their hat on their defense. As we said, they're number 1 in the Big South, number 12 in the country in scoring defense, number 10 in the nation in 3-point field goal percent defense, holding opponents under 25%. But Asheville showing a little defense of their own in this game.
Especially with Evans, who now pops a jumper and knocks it in. Wow, that was a tough angle, but made it work.
She's just fearless. She had 24 points in that game, with their recent game against North Carolina A&T. She can certainly put up big numbers, and Campbell's going to have to find a solution to slowing her down.
Evans in double figures for the 9th straight game. She already has 10. Nice offensive board for Taya Bolden.
It's just so much fun to watch Taya Bolden rebound. She's typically most often playing against someone that's 2 to 3 inches taller than her. I love her footwork, how she's able to face up, create her own shot. But right there, you can see.
Blake says no twice.
Yep, Blake's got a couple inches on her, and she's not going to let that happen.
Honey Brown leading on big minutes for Amanda Blake, the sophomore, who grew up in Arizona, moved to South Carolina in high school. Now she started the last 9 games.
You see right there, that's just an easy double block for Blake.
And then Bolden reaches for a foul after that rebound. So a tough stretch for Taya. And these are the moments that UNC Asheville can relish, especially the team that struggled. Honey Brown knows it's starting to click, and maybe a stop like that can do it.
Well, we asked Honey Brown what would be the difference in this game, and she goes, it's probably going to be one of those intangibles, like somebody getting in foul trouble or somebody not making free throws. And right now, Taya Bolden going to the bench with a foul.
So Azuma checks back in. She had big minutes in the first quarter. Here's Evans, the top scorer, 18 points a game. Nice drive by Lockett. That's a tough angle, and it rolls home for Malia Lockett out of Blythewood, South Carolina.
Right now, the Camels having a hard time keeping their player in front of them. You've got to be able to defend one-on-one. You don't want to have to constantly call for help and force your team to rotate. Got to keep Asheville out of the middle of the floor.
That's where they've thrived, in the lane. All their buckets in this quarter, right in the middle of the paint. Azuma late in the clock, spins with 6 and comes up short. Amanda Blake's been excellent defensively.
She really has. You know, Asheville in opposition is really doing a good job not letting their player drive by them, containing, moving their feet, closing up the middle.
Good.
Got to be baseline a couple times,
nice
though.
Finish. Lockett with back-to-back buckets. She played just 10 minutes on Saturday and now making a huge presence.
You just never know when your number's going to get called, and Coach Honey Brown told us that. You got to stay focused. You got to just keep on playing. You know, they don't focus on their record right now, which isn't the best. They focus on next game and what they're going to be able to do, and they continue to learn and grow.
They've had a nice start to this game as Azuma on the pick and pop. That's a great find from Tooley.
That's a beautiful pass by the senior Shy Tooley. First team All-Big South last season. Coming off an ankle injury right now, only her second game back, but that was beautiful basketball play.
They'll need more of those plays from Tooley. Preseason all-conference. Serrano does her part. Back to Azuma. Barreling through bodies and banks it in. It's like a freight train rolling down the 405.
Christabel Azuma, 8 points, 4 of 5 shooting, coming in, getting her minutes. Subbing for Bolden and doing a great job.
Debbie, we've harped on Asheville's young lineup. Azuma just a sophomore, making her presence felt. And Evans says, I'm the crafty senior. I'll bank that one in.
Some nice passes in this game so far.
Defensive-minded first quarter, a little more offensive-oriented here in the second. How the schedule works, the only matchup between these teams this year, and it's a good one so far as Azuma continues to dominate in the paint. She has 10.
Saying, give me some more minutes, Coach. I'm back. I'm back from my injury. I want to play. I want to help. She's ready to go.
Azuma in double figures for the first time this year and a new career high. I bet we'll say that a bunch more times in her career, just a sophomore. Adams on the shot fake, gets to her spot, and that was affected by Azuma. Price leaks out. Nice double team. And Evans nearly stripped it away, but there is a foul.
And that's a nice lead pass by Tooley. Rebound, heads up play. Lead your teammate to the basket. Campbell's going to the free throw line for 2.
This is not a caravan of camels in the desert. These are teams subbing in and out at a high rate, Debbie. And it is unique in this stretch of 3 games in 5 days for both teams, how they are actively using the benches.
They really are, and it's so strategic. And you also have players, younger players who freshmen are no longer freshmen. They've played the games, they have the experience, and you can give them more minutes now and rely on them to get the job done. And that lets your starters, rest a little bit, and you want to have them fresh come fourth quarter. So both these coaches trying to figure out the equation of who to give minutes to. Coach Honey Brown telling us, I base my minutes on performance in practice. Some people are gamers. She goes, but I like to see what you can do in practice, earn your minutes in practice, and I love that philosophy.
And she mentioned, you look at practice, the team's not playing like a 2-7 team in the league. They're playing like a team ready to win.
They really are.
Kai Carter left open. Can she add to the totals? Good offensive board down low, and a miss on the second chance. Nearing 5 minutes left in this first half. Price gets an open look, and that's risky business for Asheville's defense.
If you're Asheville, you better know where Faith Price is all the time.
6-0 Campbell run extends the lead as we take a timeout here on ESPN+. Faith Price is cooking.
Power isn't born, it's built over time. For over 65 years, Hercules Tires has been providing the muscle to move more drivers. Whatever the vehicle, whatever the terrain, and we back it with a powerful protection plan. So wherever the road or the trail takes you, we have the selection, value, and strength to get you there. Hercules Tires, ride on our strength.
There's not a secret to what actually happens behind the scenes at a bank. Here at First Citizens, we're trying to educate the client in each step of what's actually going to happen and actually have them make the educated decision around what steps and what options they utilize. We want to become that trusted advisor that actually guides them down that road, helping you reach your goals. That's Forever First.
What you got there, Dad? Oh, man, the new Bacon Mania lineup from Papa John's. Oh, it's the triple bacon pizza, topped with full strips of bacon. Woo, that smell of bacon through the house has everyone showing up. And I mean everyone. It's the season of bacon at Papa John's. Better ingredients, better pizza.
Well, folks, it's only 8 a.m. and it's going to be another hot one. Today's high is 85 degrees with lows ranging in the upper 50s. Tomorrow's more of the same, plus some light wind coming in from the northeast. Coming up at 8:30, Paul's got an exclusive,
Babe,
heartwarming
it's
story
8 a.m.
Fried chicken, better with Pepsi.
In sports,
we are used to an even playing field.
Unfortunately,
off the field,
court,
track,
closed.
not all people are treated fairly.
In the Big South Conference,
we commit to using our voices
to oppose injustices and inequalities.
Join us as we champion change
towards ensuring even playing fields
in and out of sports.
The Big South Conference.
We're allies.
We're advocates.
Where winners are made.
What a standout performance. Christabel Azuma, career high 10 points.
Making a huge impact on the game. And the sophomore from Sugar Hill, Georgia, she only averages 4 minutes a game. She's only played in 10 games this season as she came off an ACL injury last year. And she was cleared right before the season started, and right now really starting to take advantage of her minutes and play well. Said she played 6-7 minutes in the last game, had 6 points and 5 rebounds. So putting together back-to-back games with great offensive performances.
And that's while Taya Bolden was battling some injuries and minute restrictions early in this first half.
Campbell switching to a 1-3-1 zone. You don't see that too often, but Asheville answering that one. Kai Carter from the corner knocks it down. She's an All Big South second team awardee from last season. She can shoot it.
Carter's made 37 threes, so she has an ability from deep. Nice move by Serrano, who takes a body with her. That's a blocking foul.
A little slow to get up here.
Faith Adams took the brunt of that. So did Serrano.
Nice job by Serrano. She reads the defense. She pops back, and she attacks the closeout right away, and she gets undercut on that one. That looked like it hurt a little bit. Saranya, she's a senior. She's tough. She's been here, done that before, and she is the engine that makes this Campbell team go. And she's been doing it from the minute she stepped on campus.
86 starts, and you can tell bearing the brunt of that experience. The hardwood lives up to its name on that one.
Indeed.
So Saranya, crazy enough, only her 3rd point for the Campbell's 2nd leading scorer. It's been Azuma with 10. Price with 7, the standouts tonight.
75% free throw shooter.
Courtney Dahlquist tips that ball, so it stays here. And you see Michaela Coleman, the senior at Crew, Virginia, getting her first minutes.
Courtney Dahlquist, a 6'3" freshman, one of those players you're talking about, coach getting minutes. She typically only averages 8 minutes a game, 4 points a game. So Coach Fisher getting her some playing time right now. And who else but Faith Price coming off those screens, gets her feet set, and she is just money from behind the arc.
Tying the knot on that Dahlquist screen, fresh off the bench. And Price, who makes 3 threes a game, already has that in the first half. Ivy on the attack, tries to get by Fuller and lost it, so Asheville with its 6th turnover.
And that's nice defense there by Campbell, closing up the gaps, and we're going to see a little full court pressure here by the Bulldogs.
Coleman got away with some contact there, looks to escape. Kai Carter so long, that's a tough ball to get out. Wonder if Price was going to shoot that the way she's been stroking it from 3. Campbell has made its last 3 shots to extend this lead to 6. Fuller sets up Coleman. Not a shooter by trade, and she lost it. Certainly can tell when you're scouting a team, there are certain players you want to leave open, some you don't. Faith Price you have to guard, and with Coleman they elect to give her more space.
Well, that's the key to defense, is knowing your personnel and understanding the scout, who to close out on, who to give a little bit of room, who to play to drive, who to play to shoot the 3. It's important your players know that before going into the game. That pass is just a little bit too far. Campbell trying to run, but a little bit too fast.
Trying to throw an out route to your receiver, and they're running the post. So Campbell with its 10th turnover of the half. Both coaches said we cannot turn the ball over coming in, and that's starting to become a trend here late in the 2nd quarter. That'll keep Ronnie Fisher and Honey Brown up at night.
Those turnovers will get you. You do lose sleep over them.
Nice drive by Evans, who banks it home. She has had a nice day off the glass, 14 points.
And there's got to be better help side defense on that when she has the ball on the wing. She cannot get to the rim. I mean, she can get to the rim, but Campbell's got to do a better job at not letting her get to the rim.
That's a pick, illegal foul on Campbell. How about Nadiri Evans? No 3-point makes this year. Teams know what she's going to do, and she still finds a way to get to the bucket.
She's got 14 in this one, and she's so efficient. She's 5 for 8 from the floor, 4 for 6 from the free throw line, 2 steals already.
That's quite a challenge for any Big South coach. How do you stop Nadiria Evans? 139 games in her career and just prolific scoring. As she finds Malia Lockett. This Asheville bench has stepped up. 6 bench points. Campbell has 13 bench points today. Evans crosses over and lost it. Saranya with numbers if she wants. It goes out to Staves. No defense till late, and a blocking foul completes the N1.
One of the first transition opportunities we've seen for Campbell here. Saranya leading the break, gets the kick out there. Staves with the lay-in and the foul.
Faith Adams has been a bruised player today. A lot of contact, trying to take some charges. So she heads to the bench with 2 fouls.
Coach Honey Brown knew this was going to be a physical game, and she said her team was going to have to come in and match the physicality of Campbell. And so far, I think they've done a pretty good job.
Faith Adams, who's returning from an ankle injury, has missed a bunch of games in the conference. Good to see her back, but now she's out for the minute. And guess who's back in the game? Double-figure scorer, Christabel Azuma.
Christabel, put me in, coach. Give me some minutes.
When she walks into the office tomorrow, I can't imagine how excited she'll be.
With her edited game film.
Coach, I found the 8 clips of me scoring, blocking shots, and contributing in 12 quick minutes in this first half. Asheville starting to let this game slip away, down 7. They've allowed 6 straight points. Carter can pop from that distance, and a bit strong. So the Bulldogs are 1 of 5 from 3.
And Saranya's going to be working hard on the defensive end all night, having to guard Evans.
And Saranya plays 37 minutes a night. That's a high number for anyone in the country, especially with the offensive load she carries as well. Fuller through the trees, fades away, and Blake hangs on to it. I tell you, the gall and the confidence of these freshman guards for both teams, it's fun to watch.
Well, and freshmen now have so much experience, in AAU play. And you watched freshmen in the NCAA this year and some of the talented ones who are leading their teams. I mean, it's just they've got so much more opportunity to play as young women now. And they come into NCAA and they come with a lot of experience ready to contribute.
Of course, you think of Paige Beckers of 2 years back, leading her team to the Final Four as a freshman.
Exactly.
And Brittany Staves draws the foul with just over a minute to play in this first half. Asheville with 5 true freshmen. Campbell has played 3 of their freshmen tonight. And Ronnie Fisher trying to figure out how does he get his team out of this 2-game funk. Also, I bet he requests us not to film him from that side to show the receding hairline.
There
More of
you
a front side coach, not a backside coach.
Vanity is not a part of the game. What a big post up. Nice face up, great footwork. And who is it but Christabel Azuma again for her 12th point of the game. And that, Evan, was beautiful. Great footwork, reverse pivot, square up, shot fake, take it off the dribble.
The square on the glass is kind to Azuma today. All the bounces going Campbell's way, up 9. Carter wants to erase 3 of them. And there's Azuma with her 4th rebound. How does a performance like this for Christabel maybe kickstart her season?
Well, I think she's got to gain a little bit of confidence from this, from stringing it together 2 games in a row, but tonight especially her best performance of the year.
Staves looks for some contact and backs it out with 10. Saranya has an open shooter, takes it herself and a bit off.
A little too strong, but that's a nice screen up there by Azuma as well. Got Saranya wide open.
Asheville in the midst of a 3-minute scoring drought to end this first half.
And Evans is going to keep this ball in her hands as this halftime clock winds down.
Evans has 14 so far. Wants a couple more here with 1 on the clock, and there you go. 16 in the first half for Nadiria Evans.
What a beautiful shot. I mean, she played that perfectly, and Saranya was right there in her face, but she's got such body control, the beautiful pull-up, and knocks it down as the buzzer sounds. A great first half for Nadiria Evans.
16 quick points. Welcome back inside Gore Arena here at halftime. Campbell leads by 7 against UNC Asheville. And I tell you what, Debbie, we told you coming in there were prolific scorers in this matchup. Nadiria Evans with 16 points. I'm not sure if we would have told you Christabel Azuma would have double figures herself.
Well, it's just been amazing to watch Christabel Azuma, the sophomore, come in and make a major contribution for her team already with 12 points, and she's only been averaging 4 minutes a game coming off an injury last year. So it just shows at this point in the year, players are practiced, freshmen are no longer freshmen, sophomores are no longer sophomores, and anybody can step up and contribute.
Asheville hadn't scored in the final 3 minutes of the first half until Nadiri Evans takes over late and keeps the team in the game.
Well, she has 16 points, and she surely has shown why she's one of the top guards in the league. She's so explosive and clearly can create her own shot as she hit that buzzer shot at the end of the half.
Debbie, 20 minutes later, let's refresh what we talked about early with keys to the game, because you had asked UNC Asheville to guard the three-point line. Campbell's hit 3 triples, so not a huge issue. And then you asked Campbell to be disciplined on defense. What have you thought of that performance so far?
I think that Asheville's been able to get into the paint too much. I mean, I think part of Campbell's disciplined defense is closing up the gaps and always being in a help position and not taking away those straight line drives. And UNC Asheville's been able to exploit them a little bit off the dribble in this game, especially Nadiria Evans. But, you know, and Price is another one. She's 3 for 3 from behind the arc, and you just can't leave her open. You have to know where she is. That's 9 points that you could take away if you had a hand in her face.
You take away those 9 points, and Asheville leads at the break. Nonetheless, it's a 7-point game. We'll have more from this halftime report right after this. Hercules Tires is the official sponsor of the Big South Conference. Right on our strength, visit HerculesTires.com. Ingles, low prices, love the savings. Sunbelt Rentals, we have equipment for that. And First Citizens Bank, forever first. I guess beanies are all the rage tonight. It is a little cold outside. Here's your Smithfield's first half highlights. Low scoring first quarter, but things picked up in the second.
And you see that deflection right out of the gate by UNC Asheville. Active hands on defense, making shots difficult, blocking shots on the defensive end, keeping Taya Bolden out of the paint.
Hard to keep this girl out of the paint, though. Christabel Azuma with 12 points.
She was clearly the star of the first half for Campbell. Kai Carter to the rim, the nice drive, nice jump pass by Saranya to Azuma. Nice drive by Nuremberg. She gets to the free throw line. And this game just went back and forth, the physical game, the battle on the boards. Taya Bolden having a hard time scoring down there against a taller Amanda Blake.
Those were all 4 of her blocks in those possessions.
Yeah,
right,
we'll see what Taya Bolden's able to do when she comes out in the second half. I mean, she's such a great scorer for this team, 6th-year player. And right there, the one that finished it off. Oh, wait, that's not the last shot. That's an offensive rebound by Crystalline Azuma.
We told you Kai Carter could shoot from 3. She hits a big one late. Here we are in the second quarter. Price finally got rolling. It had a game of ebbs and flows. Campbell hit 5 of its last 7 shots to get ahead late.
You just see how effective Price is as a scorer as she comes off those screens. She's got a quick release. Nice drive to the basket by Brittany Staves. And the face-up by Christabel Azuma, and she finishes it off.
Drink a refreshing Mountain Dew today and see if you can do the dew, because Mountain Dew, we love to do the dew. It's always a good time to do that. You know what we're going to do? Take one more break.
Let's
and
do that.
Come back and talk about some stats and get you ready for the second half here on ESPN Plus. You know what the Big South loves? Hercules tires, because you can ride on their strength, and they have unbeatable quality and unmatched value. That's Hercules tires for you. Visit a retailer near you at HerculesTires.com. So here's the important stats we got you. The First Citizens Bank stats of the first half. Pretty even shooting-wise, Debbie, but the rebounding, Campbell's dominated on the glass.
It's really incredible. I mean, we looked at that at halftime. We were like, wow, 23 rebounds in the half, and 10 of those 23 rebounds are offensive. But Campbell only able to convert 7-second chance points around that, and that's the great interior defense at the rim by UNC Asheville. Turnovers fairly even, and Campbell assisting on 10 shots, which is nice, and beautiful passing sequences for them.
Asheville hasn't need assists because they've had Nadiri Evans score everything.
She can do it on her own, really. So true.
16
so true.
of those 26 points. And Debbie, here's why this game matters in the conference. We sit at the second half of the conference play. Asheville at 2-7. They had their work cut out for them to get in the top half of the league. But Campbell's dropped 2 straight, and with Longwood and Upstate nipping at their heels, this is an important game to maintain that top spot.
Well, and a really good North Carolina A&T team who's coming back to full throttle, getting some players back. So for every game for Campbell now, you know, staying at the top's not easy. You got to work super hard if you want to stay at the top of the mountain. So this game, winning this game, crucial for them to continue to keep that margin between them and the folks that are nipping at their heels.
Asheville went 9-10 in the league last year. They want to reach that mark and need some big-time wins to get there.
Well, look at their team tonight, and they're mighty talented. They play with great energy. They're solid defensively, and they continue to grow with their very young freshman, sophomore dominated team. So, and 2 elder superstars. So they've got all the pieces it takes.
Have done it all. 21 of the 26 points. They've assisted on all of those points. It's a fun duo to watch. Campbell a bit more balanced tonight. 6 different players have scored. And here we go. Second half begins. Shaituli works it downstairs to Bolden, and an immediate miss. There's another second chance. You mentioned rebounding. It's a good board for Evans, who goes right to work, got away with a travel and lost it.
I like the play call off the whiteboard coming out of halftime, but Blake continuing to be able to alter Bolden's shots.
Taya Bolden right now 1 of 8 from the field, so Staves heaves up a prayer.
You know, and Bolden may need to look at catching the ball a little bit off the block and using her quickness to take advantage of a taller opponent.
Amanda Blake with 5 blocks tonight. She's been assertive, and Bolden's called for the hook. So this is where you get tested as a player, right? You're not doing well as offensively. You start to foul a bit. How do you keep your composure for Taya Bolden?
Well, she's a 6th-year player, and she's going to come out for a little bit, picking up another foul, but she'll keep it together. She's mentally tough. She's physically tough. She's been there, done that, and just right now she's got her opponents a little bit taller than she is, and she's going to have to sit on the bench for a little bit and figure out how she can score.
So here comes Ronnie Fisher's ace out of his hole. Christabella Zuma, double figures in the first half. Makes it tough on Blake, and she gets the friendly bounce.
And a nice up and under by Blake. Pretty shot. That's going to be interesting to watch Blake and Azuma battle now.
Amanda Blake shooting 65% in the conference, making plays just like that. A crucial 5 minutes early for Asheville, trying to hang around in this game in the third.
Asheville doing a really great job closing up the middle of the floor, switching on the perimeter, guarding those back cuts.
The
Shot clock's winding down.
Serrano gets it off and gets her own rebound. I don't know how she got that ball.
Great extra effort by Serrano to keep her team in possession of the basketball. And Coach Fisher will call out another set.
So Campbell plus 12 on the boards right now, setting up Serrano, and she can't hit. A lot of missed opportunities early in this third quarter.
I like that shot, though. Defense chooses to go under the ball screen.
Oh, Nadiria Evans does it all.
And you can't let Nadiria Evans get a head of steam in the backcourt. Nobody stopped the ball. Once she gets going, she's just like a freight train barreling her way to the hole.
18 for Evans, and we'll take the timeout here on ESPN Plus. I'm not a coach, but I do know that's the one thing I wouldn't let Nadiri Evans do. Just run to the basket wide open.
Nobody stopped her. And it's not like this is a big transition game. You got to pick her up in the backcourt.
Nadiria Evans taking over in transition, give her 18 points.
You got to know where she is all the time, and you have to guard her. Look at her, totally unattended. And that's just a communication error on defense, and she just has a straightaway path to the basket, and that's just easy for her.
Evans scored 18 on Saturday. She's had 8 games with 20 or more points in only 20 contests, so she can really put the ball in the basket.
She's one of only 4 players in UNC Asheville history to score 1,600 points, and she's way over that now.
Now can the rest of her team pick up the scoring?
And look at how she's denying Saranya, trying to take the point guard out of the picture, knowing full well that Campbell needs Saranya to run the show. She orchestrates everything. And Evans almost face guarding her, denying her the basketball.
Have to love when the best player also can be the best on defense. As Staves heaves up a 3, and the prayer is answered.
And that's a good sign for Campbell, getting contributions from multiple players. Another 3 for the Camels.
They hit 8 on Monday, now have 5 tonight. Now, one thing Ronnie Fisher mentioned to us today, his team did not hit a 3 in the second half on Monday.
Yeah, 8 in the first half, and then just kind of went cold. And big reason why they weren't able to finish that game is they just couldn't put the ball in the basket.
So they've lost 2 straight coming in. Ivy with a good response on the jumper. This meeting has been back and forth, 68th all-time matchup. Campbell wants to break a 2-game losing streak, so they feed Azuma in the post. Just had a field day down low, and that's too easy.
And talk about taking your man away from the basket. So Zuma takes it to the short corner, puts it on the floor, faces up again. She loves using that glass. I love to see that.
7 of 8 shooting. That'll keep in the lineup for a long time.
Nice job on that ball screen defense. Evans trying to get a little post up on Saranya. She launches it over the top.
And the fadeaway falls in.
I mean, and in Saranya's defense, she's right there with a hand in her face. 20 points for Nadiria Evans.
Against a defense that ranks in the top 15 in the country. Fewest points allowed. Azuma tiptoes the baseline. But she stepped out of, oh no, a 3 in the key.
She was in there for a little bit too long.
Sometimes that pirouette turns into a spin, a little cha-cha slide, and then you lose track of time. So her first turnover. So Blake heads to the bench defensively for Asheville. Smaller lineup now with Abigail Wilson at the forward position. Ronnie Fisher's a bit hamstrung. Taya Bolden with 3 fouls early in this third quarter. So outside of Evans, no player with more than 5, and that may be all they need. Is there's an offensive foul on the pick from Wilson.
An illegal screen right there. The officials are all over it.
Abigail Wilson, whose mother played alongside Brenna Mock-Kirkpatrick, the former coach of this program, who led this squad with Honey Brown for a decade, won 2 Big South titles. Saranya, nice pass out to Brittany Staves. Tough angle. Ooh, and a late foul call on Kai Carter.
Staves was fouled on the floor long before she ever shot it, but I think she's gonna get, it's called on the shot, so she'll get to the free throw line. Faces up, nice shot fake. See a little bump right there.
You're right, you can call that foul either way,
on
the drive or the shot. Benefit to the shooter. As Campbell makes its 9th free throw of the night.
Brittany Staves is only a 58% free throw shooter.
And
2
with that
for 2.
free throw,
2 for 2.
she missed 4 free throws on Monday, and that was a huge bugaboo for Campbell. 8 total misses. First minutes for Carly Fahey, the freshman from Sewanee, Georgia. So you have your bingo card at home, Debbie. That's 5 freshmen checking in for UNC Asheville. Campbell's top scorer is a sophomore who played limited minutes this year. Both coaches working their bench tonight. Kai Carter through the trees, and she draws a foul. What makes her so tough to guard in the post?
She's just got versatility. She's got athleticism. She's got strength. She can elevate and leave the floor, and you look how strong she is. She uses her body well. She moves her feet. She uses her quickness, and she uses her muscle to get that shot off and split 2 defenders.
Kai Carter's been a walking bucket in conference play. 15 points, 8 rebounds a night. There's a reason she was named to the all-conference team last year. And that's what makes this team in Asheville scary come tournament time. Even with that record, 2 players that are elite, and if the complementary pieces step up, they can be dangerous.
They really do have 2 elite players and freshmen and sophomores who are just getting better. They're a concern to me come tournament time because they're just going to continue to improve.
Azuma's call for the pick, threw that arm out a bit.
Well, and that's a little bit of the fault of Saranya because in order to use a screen, you have to wait for the screen, and she really didn't let the screen get set before she took off.
The whistles are busy today. 22 fouls in this game.
Yeah, the officials are in it. They're all over the illegal screen today.
That is a point of emphasis coming into the year. Not 22, but the fall season.
That and traveling.
Sort of feels like that's played out tonight. Fahey backs it out with 11 on the clock. Now Carter sprints in. Fuller with a block.
Great help by Fuller, the freshman from Australia.
She sets up a shooter in Staves, and her second 3 of the half.
And here comes the Campbell 3-point barrage. You know they can shoot it. They have so many players that can hit it.
Debbie, your keys to the game. Asheville had to defend the 3-point line. And now Campbell gets hot. There's an over and back, and the defense adds to its part.
This is where UNC Asheville has to get it together a little bit, and that's a great timeout by Coach Honey Brown. She wants to nip this run in the bud, regroup, get her team back together, focus, have a good offensive possession, have a good defensive possession, and stop the bleeding.
As Campbell takes the lead by 7.
We are not merely an institution of higher education. We are transforming lives and empowering students to become leaders.
Leaders in our communities, in our state, and throughout the world.
Leaders in innovation.
Leaders in service to our neighbors.
Join our movement. Join our community. Join our mission. Lead with purpose. Lead with Campbell.
Being a champion is about more than just strength or training. It means you believe you can be the best. At North Carolina A&T, we applaud our Aggies on the U.S., Mexico, and Liberia teams. We also applaud thousands of Aggies who are champions in their own right, from creating self-driving cars to changing the face of STEM careers. We often say, Aggies do. Don't think for a second that Aggies are ever done. A&T, home of champions.
In the last 10 years, Emerge Orthopedics has really been on the forefront of doing orthopedic urgent care. We realize that a lot of these accidents happen after hours, and patients want to get seen and get diagnosed and get taken care of. Emerge has a number of orthopedic urgent cares throughout the Triangle, and some of which are open 7 days a week, open till 9 o'clock at night, and that's been a huge benefit to patients. Patients routinely give us compliments on that and the care they receive there.
Woo! Papa John's just took that fresh, never frozen dough and hand stretched it into thin, oversized New York-style slices. I mean, look at that crust! That is the perfect crust thickness no matter how you eat it. So you can fold it, or not. But I ain't gonna lie though, I fold it. Get a New York-style pizza from Papa John's. Better ingredients, better pizza.
It's bow time. The workday might be ending, but your family's hunger is still gearing up for the night shift. Now you could unload groceries, chop, dice, mince, preheat, heat, slap around the smoke detector, and then celebrate with a big old pile of dishes. Or you could just drop a big bow box on it. Because when you can feed the family with 12 Supremes, fixins, biscuits, and tea, you can clock out and still spend some well-earned quality time with a delicious dinner. It's bow time.
Pepsi reminds you what fans like, and fans like the band because they've been rocking and rolling all night.
This Campbell band is really, really good. They're impressive. I've enjoyed listening to them tonight.
They might need a Pepsi to take a refresh after a long night rocking and rolling with the instruments. The sound of the Sandhills. Here in Bowie's Creek, North Carolina with Debbie Taylor, Evan Budrovich for Big South Women's Basketball. 7-point game. These teams are dead even in the third quarter, so all the difference in the first half. Faith Price on the attack. That's a tough angle, and she banks it home.
And setting up that two-man game for Price and Azuma. Nice finish by Price high off the glass. Great execution out of the timeout.
I tell you, Debbie, the amount of bank shots tonight, the skill from these teams is on high alert.
Yeah, you don't see players use the glass as much as they used to. It's a rare air ball by Evans, but tonight it is abundant in this game.
So Lockett takes advantage, but lost it. 3-on-1. Serrano keeps running, calls her number, and there's a transition bucket.
And we said Asheville was in the danger zone here. They had to stop the bleeding, and Campbell responds with 2 buckets. Long shot by Carter. Zuma fighting for the board.
Wow, you don't see a jump ball typically called there, so possession stays with Asheville. I'm not sure either player really touched the ball, but that was quite a tussle.
The physical battle under the boards, dragging each other down. I like how intense it's getting.
It's a WWE fight here on a Wednesday. Is Evans, that is what she does so well. Only her 7th and 8th free throw attempts, but Debbie, she's now 2nd in the country in total free throw attempts.
It's because she does such a fantastic job driving the closeout. She catches and she goes, and she just puts you back on your heels. You'll see catch, pull, go. It's like immediate, and she just attacks that gap. And Audrey Fuller not able to get over there quick enough to close it because Evans is just so incredibly explosive.
To that point, it would seem secondary defense is almost as important as the on-ball against Evans.
Well, Coach Ronnie Fisher told us you cannot play Evans one-on-one. It is a team effort. You've got to have somebody in the gap ready to defend when she puts the ball on the floor.
Evans sitting on 20 points for the 9th time this season, but can't hit her free throws. So Asheville hasn't hit a bucket in 3 minutes. Campbell's extended its lead to 11. And Evans is making sure Faith Price cannot touch the basketball.
Well, it's towards the end of the game where you would hope that the experience of these Campbell players would pay off. They've been in tight games before. They know how to dig it out when they're tired. A little bit of a travel right there by Brittany Staves.
Lost her footing, so that's Campbell's 13th turnover. These are critical minutes, to your point, if you're Campbell, to try to put this game away in the next 2:59 and not let Asheville hang around.
Yeah, they can really widen the gap here. We've got Asheville back on their heels, or Asheville, again, young team. Do they respond? Have they learned enough by now that when they're behind that they can step up? And Nadiria Evans certainly does, and she's going to get a foul on the floor. And again, catch, drive the closeout, work her way to the rim. The speed at which she does that is just really incredible.
You can drop so many defenses as you want, but stopping this freight train is really tough.
I mean, just catch, go. And a little stutter step to the left. Gets Serrania to bite on it, and she just goes right to the rim, and she's back on the free throw line.
Nadiri Evans, 4 of 8 from the line. Adds a 5th right there. Asheville takes the 3rd most free throws in the conference. Nadiri Evans does a bulk of those duties.
Oh, but she's only a 63% free throw shooter, so she's leaving a lot of points at the line right now, but this time 2 for 2.
I saw you hedge your bet there on that bounce. You got lucky there, Debbie.
Yep, indeed.
The broadcaster jinx is alive and well.
Trying not to.
Taya Bolden returns with 3 fouls. She has struggled shooting the ball tonight, and now has a new assignment on her. Alana Sellers, the freshman from Hampton, checks in.
You know, and even if Bolden's not able to score, she's a great screener. She's a good passer, and here we see her taking her player away from the basket.
Lost track of her target, so that's another turnover. You could tell Campbell's just a little out of sync here.
Well, it's important for Bolden, as we said, 6 years doing this, not to get frustrated. And she looks like she's just maintaining a consistent demeanor, and she can contribute to her team in a lot of ways. Defensive energy, pulling rebounds, making great passes. Nice ball movement by Asheville.
And
Bam.
Adams hits the 3.
We said Adams coming off an injury. They needed her. She's the player that gets everyone organized. She's been out for a couple weeks, making a big impact with that shot. Double high screen here for Campbell. Goes into a high-low. Bolden's got great position. She's got the face up. She's going to try to drive, spin.
On Sellers, and that drops home. A long-awaited bucket for Taya Bolden. That's her 4th point. A timeout here for Campbell.
And that's how Bolden's going to get her points tonight. She's not going to be able to do it against the taller defense of Asheville, but she's very effective when she comes away from the rim and faces up and can take her defender off the dribble.
Debbie, you don't see too many games where Asheville's overcome this huge deficit. Well, Campbell hasn't missed a shot in their last 6 attempts.
Well, and that's the difference you should see in an experienced team. I mean, Campbell returned almost its entire team this season. I mean, this is a team who, you know, finished 2nd in the conference tournament last year. They've got the experience. They've played in the big games, and this is where in the second half, when they're tired, they step up and shine.
Campbell started the year 8-0 in the conference, but 2 straight losses in Big South play. They want to avoid their first 3-game losing streak in 5 years. They've been off to a good start so far tonight.
Yeah, 11 in a row during this season. And then, yeah, really quickly, 2 quick losses, but trying to get back on track in this one. The defense is starting to fire on all cylinders here in the second half.
Ronnie Fisher joked you can lose 11 straight as quickly as you can win them. As this team looks to bounce back. That's way short on the 3. Cleaning it up is Sellers for the offensive board.
Great second chance opportunity. How do you get back in the game when it's difficult to score? Go to work on the boards.
The 5th freshman to check in for Asheville. They've all contributed. Bolden contested by Sellers. Drives in. Tough fadeaway. Blocked again. Bolden's had a tough go of it in the paint.
Sellers at 6'1". She's a freshman, as you said, out of Hampton, Virginia. Nice defense on that play.
That's 17 blocks for UNC Asheville. Carter looks to set up this offense with Evans on the bench, and there's a travel. That's what makes this run even more impressive. Nadiri Evans out for the minute, and her team starting to mount a comeback.
Well, sometimes teams tend to rely on their superstar, and when they sit down, more players step up. And you're starting to see that from Asheville right now.
Faith Price is pressured by Adams. Campbell's had success shooting the ball this quarter, but the turnovers are costly. That's 6 giveaways in this 3rd quarter.
And that's just miscommunication right there. Bolden was kind of come set a screen for Fuller, and Fuller thought she was stepping up for a pass and just threw it out of bounds.
How much of that is to your point earlier about mixing minutes and finding that chemistry as a team?
Those two should be fairly used to playing together, but, you know, you got to credit the opponent's defense for getting you, picking up the tempo, taking you out of your cadence.
They have forced Campbell to 15 turnovers tonight. Evans right back in the game, sets up a shooter. This is a big 3 and short. No luck for Jamia Blake, so Nuremberg runs the point. Campbell can hold for the final shot. Asheville's clawed back within 6. They trailed by as many as 11 in this quarter.
Let's see if Campbell can do to Asheville what Asheville did to Campbell at the end of the half. Wind this clock down, take the shot at the buzzer.
And that's not what you want if you're Ronnie Fisher.
Ronnie is energetic tonight. He knows this win is important to his team. He's got to get him back on track.
With Longwood and Upstate nipping at their heels for the top spot. Evans gets to the half-court line. Gets a shot off late. That will not count. And Nadiri Evans trying to will her team back. 22 points tonight. We have a fun fourth quarter coming up from Buies Creek. Nadiri Evans taking over this basketball game. 22 points for the senior standout. And Debbie, that's been the one-man wrecking crew for the Bulldogs tonight.
She's been fairly unstoppable and efficient. 8 for 13 from the floor, 3 rebounds, and really is going to have to be their go-to down the stretch here to close this 6-point gap in the fourth quarter.
She also has 10 free throw attempts, keeping Asheville in it. Campbell has had to avoid the turnover woes. 4 giveaways in the final few minutes of that quarter. And Bolden starts her shooting well at 6 points.
That's what she's got to do. Step away from the basket, face up. That's in her range. That's an easy shot for her. She thought about it, though. Bolden's 3 for 11 right now, but look for her to have a big impact in this fourth quarter.
Helps out on Carter, who misses the jumper. Hentea says, I'll take that 7th rebound. She's now 5 away from setting the program record at Campbell.
At 5 foot 10 inches tall, and that might be an exaggeration.
I agree with you there. She's playing well beyond her height on the boards.
Nice job on the handoff series there by Asheville.
There's a deep 3 for Carver, and that rattles out. Second chance to Nuremberg.
Nuremberg just does all the little things well. She takes care of the basketball. She rebounds the basketball. She runs the offense. She sets good screens. She's just, like Coach said, she's a glue player.
Campbell is plus 14 in rebound. That's a big difference. Coleman backs down Adams. She wants Thule. And with the clock at 1, lost track of it. There's a violation. Great defense from Asheville.
Great defense. And great job on Tooley. Tooley's another fantastic three-point shooter, the best in Campbell history, and she hasn't been able to get a clean look at the basket really tonight.
2 shots all night. Asheville's held Bolden to 6 points. That's checking a lot of boxes for Honey Brown.
Following the scout.
Faith Adams, she adds to her equation there with a layup.
Little clear out right there. They're happy to have her back from injury.
Has not played the last 4 games, but coming back strong here tonight. Bolden has a mismatch. Didn't see the open player. Oh, right back to Bolden. That's a great pass by Carver.
It was hard to tell. It almost looked like Asheville went to a 2-3 zone on that possession, and Bolden was able to get behind it. Beautiful pass.
Switching defenses mid-possession. That's quite a challenge for Honey Brown's club. Evans gets to her spot. Has an NBA-style jumper. It comes up strong. Oop. Bolden's like, excuse me, let me get out of this mess.
Rebounding war continues.
Evans one more time, and from the same spot, she's got it.
I mean, with a hand in her face. What focus.
Nadiria Evans with 24 points. Keep in mind her career high is 35, so she might get there tonight. As Coleman's called for the illegal pick, and Ronnie Fisher can't believe it.
That has been certainly the favorite call of our officiating crew this evening.
I've counted at least 5 illegal screens tonight.
Might be more than that. Ronnie Fisher not happy with that one. Happened right in front of him, and he's getting in the official's ear right now.
So if you're a player and you know officials are calling that illegal screen,
you've got to be set. You have to be set, and if you're using a screen or a handoff, you've got to be set, and you've got to let them be ready for it before you use it.
Carter's had trouble from 3 tonight. That bounces away. She's 1 of 4 from deep. Carver, another nice find to Serrano. Breaks her defender down. Nuremberg on the attack. Ooh. That's a blocking foul on Evans. She kind of harpooned herself in there.
Nuremberg just caught that ball at the top of the key and decided she was going to the basket.
Each team with 1 foul, but it's felt like a lot more in this 4th quarter. Free throws could be a factor late. Both teams fittingly have 14 free throw attempts.
Well, and if there are not many more fouls, having fouls to give could be an issue for the team that's behind.
Asheville's trailed this entire second half, had it as close as 6. Afton Campbell finds some rhythm, clock at 7. Carver lets it fly, and an offensive board, maybe by design there.
Long shot, long rebound. It's anybody's ball. At least she got it off in time.
Of Nuremberg. Campbell's now plus 15 on the boards. That's doubled Asheville's total.
But Asheville's working really hard at the defensive end right now, making it difficult for Campbell to get a good look at the basket. Nuremberg right there, though, getting some space.
And another offensive board.
That's what she does. She may have her scoring woes tonight, but she's really contributing on the boards.
Serrano operates with 10. This is a 3rd possession. Bolden lets it fly for 3 and gets nothing. What a defensive stand by UNC Asheville.
They've really picked up the defense. They're not ready to go home yet and let this one go. Only a 6-point game, just under 6 minutes to play. Plenty of time, and they are locking it down on the defensive end.
And these coaching staffs are up and at them with words, with adjustments. Asheville wants to break a 4-game losing streak. Campbell wants to snap its own 2-game funk.
Oh, and as you said earlier, they know every game counts in the conference standings as we come down the wire. Campbell's fortunate to play the majority of their conference games at home. They have 3 in a row at home to finish this conference season.
Oh, air ball from Evans. That's rare. Steal for Serrano. She's bumped by Evans, and that's her 2nd foul. One of the rare plays where Evans had a blunder that time.
See Serrano right there. We just dropped that ball. Evans dropped it, and Serrano there to pick it up. Back to the pinch post. Nice back cut, opposing cuts right there. Serrano trying to get some room, but Bulldogs all over it. There's a gap, and there's a foul.
So Price gets to the free throw line. That's 2 quick fouls on Nadiri Evans. And you mentioned Campbell needed the dribble drive a bit more. They're showing it here in this fourth quarter.
They're able to find some gaps of their own against this defense that's been really stingy in the fourth quarter. That's 3 on Nadiria Evans.
We have a combined 2.5-minute scoring drought for both teams, which has been answered. This game's felt like it's been a 12-point difference at times, really tight, and now it's back to 7.
Faith Price is a 91% free throw shooter.
It's like your GPA back in college, Debbie Taylor.
That's exactly what it was. It's too long ago, I can't remember.
Here in Buies Creek, North Carolina, Debbie Taylor, Evan Budrovich for Big South basketball. Both these teams want to win. They've lost their combined 6 straight. Campbell with a win maintains the top spot in the conference.
It does feel so much better to win.
Especially to start the new month of February, final month of the regular season, and Faith Adams, she traveled a little bit.
That's another point of emphasis for the officials this season. They're all over it.
Adams' first game back in nearly a month, recovering from an ankle injury. See it all bandaged up.
Asheville extending their defense, putting on a little full court pressure.
Nice tip by Evans, who steals it, and it goes back to Price. Wow, 10-second violation.
Honey Brown yelling at the officials for the 10-second call.
So we'll take immediate timeout. A scrappy finish upcoming in Buies Creek. It's Campbell leading by 8. Tickets and event information can be found for the Big South Tournament at bigsouthsports.com/CLTChamps. That tournament starts in no time. March 2nd, the opening day of action in the women's and men's championships.
It's February. Is it Groundhog Day today?
It is.
Do you know what happened with Phil? I missed on that one.
I just know the deuces are wild today, February 2nd, 2022. What a night for the number 2 scorer in the conference, Nadiri Evans, who pops a long jumper. So, Debbie, she had 20 points in the first 3 quarters. How has Campbell been able to somewhat slow her down here in the fourth?
You know, I think it's a little bit that she's getting tired as well. That was a clear out for her, and that's the same shot she hit before. You know, Saranya did a great job having a hand in her face, but Campbell's also doing a better job of closing up the gaps and really playing team defense on her, which is what you have to do.
Asheville's in a 3-minute scoring drought that nearly extends, and there's a turnover.
And Fuller did a nice job right there. You saw that immediately. She was in the gap, in help position, and when the ball was put on the floor, she closed that gap and forced that turnover. Pressure continues.
Both teams applying pressure, too, which is unique. In a desperation game, Campbell's lost 2 straight. Asheville has dropped 4 in a row in the conference. Saranya looks to get her offense going. Only 5 points tonight, but 5 assists.
She's had a hard time getting a good look at the basket as well. Credit Asheville's defense, but Price, not so much. Faith Price, the junior, at another 2 to her total for the leading scorer for Campbell in the game.
A quiet 16 points for Price. It comes in bunches. Dump down to Ivy. She kicks it around. Carter can shoot that 3, and it rattles out. Nice save by Wilson.
Those are the hustle plays that you have to give your team a second
Oh, and
possession.
Serrano gets her hand on it, and a steal. Up ahead to Price, who runs the court. Wisely takes her time, and the clock will reset.
And the clock is Campbell's friend right now. There's no need for them to rush if they don't have it. That's why it was such a great decision to bring the ball out, get that ball in the hands of your point guard. Going to go a high screen in the middle for Saranya. She uses that. She goes to the basket.
And it
she
just rolls out.
Struggling to convert tonight.
Ronnie Fisher begging Lou to get back on defense. So Ivy runs the court and misses a layup. A little fast break action in this fourth quarter.
Fuller's going to bring it out. She's going to take her time.
The stress going through Ronnie Fisher's mind is sped up 100 miles an hour. He wants this win more than any, it seems, tonight. His club will take on Longwood this Saturday, matchup of first-place teams in the league. They have to take care of business first here tonight.
And makes this game even more important to get another win under your belt, and that's going to be another illegal screen.
Yeah, they called it.
But, you know, if you watch this film, they're right. And waiting for screens is key, and then keeping your arms tucked into your body, not extending them, not sticking a hip out. I mean, there's a lot of great tutorials on illegal screens in this game.
UNC Asheville hanging around down 10, but they haven't scored in 5 minutes, so something has to change.
The clock is not their friend right now. 4-possession game. They've got to score on this one.
And Staves takes it away, runs the break in transition, through some contact, no. And Price is fouled hard from behind by Adams. She got the worst of that one.
And that's great hustle by Price to follow that play and be there to clean it up. She's a little slow getting up. Crowd giving her a nice round of applause. And the 91% free throw shooter is going to go to the line, and that is the last player you want to foul right now.
This was not an easy layup as well. A lot of chances here.
And that was just a really risky pass. And, you know, you can turn the ball over, but you're better off throwing it out of bounds than turning it over, a live ball turnover in the open court that creates opportunities like that.
So Campbell coming up, we mentioned that huge game with Longwood. They'll also face A&T next week. So if you're Ronnie Fisher, this 3 to 4 game stretch is crucial for his club.
It really is, and that's why this win, decisive win, if they can make that happen, can give them a little springboard into the next 2 games that are going to be so very tough. You know, getting to play a little bit at home is going to be nice for them, but they're not going to get to do that until the end of the season. So they have to go on the road at Longwood, on the road at A&T, and that's where your mental, physical, your toughness comes in, and your team experience. They've got the experience. They've got all their players back, but we'll see what they're made of in those 2 games.
And to your point, 4 of the final 5 are at home. So if you get to that point, you're in a great spot. That's why this 8-2 start for Ronnie Fisher, he looks at the 2 losses and also says, well, we've won all our road games, so he's done well in that department as well.
Which is a big deal in this conference because on any night, all these teams are good. There's not an easy game.
There's your 91% free throw shooter, Faith Price, 4 of 5 tonight.
And Asheville with 4 fouls right now, so next one will put Campbell into the bonus. And they want to do their best to keep Price off the line. What a beautiful free throw she has.
So Bolden checks back in. 8 points and 9 rebounds, nearing a double-double, but it's been a hard-earned one for Taya.
We haven't seen Christabella Zuma back in the game.
She shined in the first half, 14 points off the bench.
7 for 8 shooting. Talk about efficiency.
Here's a deep three for Carter, and it rattles out. Asheville hasn't scored in 5 minutes.
Trying to get Carter open on that stagger screen, but the Campbell defense just really buckling down, contesting every shot.
They've held Asheville to 4 points in this decisive quarter. That'll be the difference tonight.
Oh, I'm going to take their time on the offensive end.
Coleman, good pass out to the corner. Fuller airballs it.
And Wise to bring that back out.
Oh, nice steal. Ivy picks the pocket of Campbell, runs the break, and stops the 5-minute drought.
It's a big bucket right there.
Back to a 10-point game with 2 minutes left. So, Debbie, clearly work to do for Asheville tonight, but this is what's coming up for the Bulldogs. It's kind of a unique schedule, right? You play the same team back-to-back twice. What an adjustment for a coach. You had this last year with COVID, and now it kind of comes back with a schedule.
Yeah, those rescheduled COVID games. And some teams have more than others, just depending on protocol. And they come back to haunt you at this point in the year, and you could be playing, 3 games in 1 week and some long stretches with a few days and a lot of games. So you just got to hunker down and get it done.
Who wins the game at Connect Four, though? Because I see a lot of triangles and diamonds, but no up and down.
Kind of crazy, right?
With that schedule. So that bucket's huge for Ivy. Stops a 5-minute scoring drought. You'd imagine if Campbell makes their free throws, they walk out of here with a win.
Well, now Campbell going to extend their defense again. Asheville's going to extend their defense again, and Campbell turned it over the last time this happened. Here's the press, the trap in the corner.
Oh, Faith Price held on that thing like an Easter egg. Barely possessed it.
Nice job breaking the press, getting it back out up top.
And forced to foul is Ivy. So there you go. Campbell in the bonus the rest of the way.
And I like the press, trying to steal the ball. And right now, Coach Honey Brown says, let's extend this game. And she's going to put Saranya on the line and hope that she makes neither or just maybe one.
She's 3 of 4 tonight. That's a friendly home bounce. The Camels are 15 of 19, which is nearly 80%.
Asheville's going to need to get some quick looks on their ends. Hopefully they have some quick hitters off the free throw. They don't want to use up too much time on this clock, and they don't have to have a 3 right now. It would be ideal, but they can go straight to the rim, get the quickest and best shot they can get. Campbell's going to extend their defense to slow Asheville down a little bit.
Abigail Wilson checks in. She's made 5 threes this year, maybe an outside threat late. Wanting to set up Evans.
And there's the quick hit, the double high screen into the fade screen.
That is so easy. 26 points for Evans.
Just gave Evans a direct line drive to the basket. And quick foul right there. I like it. Try to trap on the inbounds pass. As soon as the ball's passed out, they foul.
The only issue for Asheville, if you play this foul game, if you keep shooting layups and Campbell makes its free throws, you're not making up much ground.
Well, eventually they're going to have to shoot threes, but I like that last decision by Evans. She had the driving line, went right to the hole, and it was quick. Not much time clicked off the shot clock, so good decision.
I swear every bucket Nadiri Evans makes is quick. There is no slow attack of the basket for the redshirt senior.
She's fun to watch.
And Saranya with these free throws is all of a sudden up to 8 points. Price has 18 tonight, and Azuma with 14 off the bench for Campbell.
Saranya's a 75% free throw shooter. This is nice to have reliable players from the line that you can count on down the stretch in close games. Saranya's going to come out. Maybe an offense-defense substitution right here.
So Michaela Coleman checks in to guard Nadiria Evans. Asheville's hit just 2 triples tonight. They need some here. Evans goes up, and she's fouled. So free throws for Nadiria Evans.
Only a few seconds ticked off the clock, though.
12-point game, minute and 16 seconds left. Asheville trying to break a 4-game losing streak.
We said earlier, Nadiria Evans is only a 63% free throw shooter, but her team needs these right now.
The stats don't lie. She's 6 of 10 tonight, so right on those numbers. Evans has done about everything else perfectly.
27th point of the evening.
What put this game away for Campbell, if they are able to hold on, was a 5-minute stretch, not allowing Asheville to score early in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, they really locked down on defense in the fourth quarter and made all the difference in the world.
So each team going to its bench one more time. Sellers for Asheville, Fuller to dribble the ball for Campbell.
Saranya surprisingly not back in the game here.
Nuremberg looks, finds Staves, and she's hugged. This will drag out to end the fourth quarter, and it'll really test your mental toughness from the free throw line.
It will indeed. We've got a lot of time left on that clock, so Asheville's going to continue to try to stretch out this game and foul every chance they get and just play the odds and hope that Campbell misses a few.
Lockett and Sellers, who both checked in, had no fouls. So theoretically, you could have 10 fouls to work with the rest of the way.
It's going to be a long time before we get ice cream, isn't it?
I might see you on Thursday morning at this point. Here in Bowie Creek, North Carolina, with Debbie Taylor, Evan Budrovich for this fourth quarter. If Campbell makes its free throws, they snap a 2-game losing streak. Staves hits 1 of 2.
Nashville's getting about to the point where they're going to need some three-point looks.
Remember, Nadiri Evans has 1 3-point attempt this year, but that'll help with an and one. You can't commit that foul if you're Audrey Fuller.
The beautiful step back and the three-point opportunity for the three-point play, and it looks like Asheville's just going to leave the ball in the hands of their leader, Nadiria Evans, as they come down the stretch here. She's got a chance to cut it to 8.
Couldn't have drawn up any better if you're Honey Brown there.
That turns it into a 3-possession game, which it is right now, rather than the 4-possession game that it was with a 10-point lead.
Nadiri Evans can't hit the free throw. That's a big miss.
You got to have a quick foul here.
1 minute remaining, and the foul by Carter. That's her 4th. So putting this game on the shoulders of a young contributor, Audrey Fuller, to the free throw line.
Audrey Fuller, a 66% free throw shooter. We're going to learn everybody's free throw percentage statistics before this one's over.
Campbell's had 24 free throw attempts. That's a Big South high.
Beautiful shot. Audrey Fuller's from Australia. Her sister Adelaide is a post player. She's about 6'2". She plays at Davidson College. She's having a great career down there right outside of Charlotte.
Love to see those games at knockout as kids growing up on the yard. Back to an 11-point game. 1 minute to go. Evans crosses over, gets to the lane, and add to it. 32 points with a timeout.
She's just unstoppable. Unstoppable.
New season high, 32. And that's a 57-point. That's the whole offense for Asheville tonight.
It's really unbelievable. Her speed with the ball in her hands is just incredible.
She had 31 back on December 10th against ETSU and has now eclipsed that total.
But if you're going to trade 2 for 2, you're not going to cut into this lead. And so I wonder when Asheville's going to get to the point where they're going to have to start shooting threes. But they've used the clock. I mean, doesn't take her long to get her shot up. They've gotten down the court and gotten to the rim quickly on the last couple possessions.
Nadiria Evans, it's an incredible performance to watch. 12 of 20 from the field, gets to the free throw line 13 times, just doing it all.
Yeah, she really is. She really is. You know, as you said, she came back to play her 5th year for Coach Honey Brown and really wants to help this young group and this Asheville team, a team full of freshmen and sophomores. She's their leader. She's their example. There is a lot of season left to play and a lot of growing left to do for the UNC Asheville Bulldogs.
And a lot of time with 54 seconds left. Svenja Nuremberg to inbound. She finds Fuller. Nice trap and a late foul. Coach Brown wanted a jump ball there, and instead free throws for Audrey Fuller. Well, if you're Ronnie Fisher, you're going to learn who you trust at the free throw line late in the game.
Indeed.
Let's see. Price has 6 attempts. Staves with 5. Saranya has 8. And now Fuller joins the party.
Coach Fisher has to be happy. He used his bench a bunch today. And he got some players opportunity to get some good minutes, some big contributions from the bench for Campbell.
No fear in the eyes of Audrey Fuller, the true freshman. All 3 points from the free throw line.
19 points off the Campbell bench in comparison to only 6 for UNC Asheville, and Fuller knocks another one down.
Asheville running out of chances here. 48 seconds left.
It's almost like a double team on Evans now. There's the hand check by Fuller. There's not a whole lot you're going to do.
So Asheville's in the bonus. Now you get free throws the rest of the way for Nadiria Evans. And you wonder if you're Ronnie Fisher, you almost take that because of the time that goes off the clock.
You know, it's not what you'd want, but I don't know if they weren't trying to foul, but Nadiria Evans is not the best free throw shooter.
There's Exhibit A with a miss.
So it's almost, you're almost better putting her on the line than giving her a shot.
We saw an and one a few seconds ago.
She did make that happen.
Make things happen. So 1 and 2. Enough substitutions to fill out an entire Subway order sheet for a party of 64. Those party trays are great. You can order individual sandwiches, you name it. And a timeout. Ronnie Fisher wants to move the ball up the court on the timeout.
Yeah, a lot of congestion down there on the baseline. We just spread this press break out.
So what's Ronnie Fisher drawn up there on that magical whiteboard?
He's going to just, they got to get the ball in bounds. So you saw in that possession, there were 4 offensive players in the quarter court down there, and that's just, they need a little more spacing.
Campbell leads by 10 because of Faith Price stepping up, 18 points tonight.
Faith Price has really had a great game, and we've talked about Campbell on any given night. It really can be any one of the starting 5. They're all such potent scorers. Faith Price just doing it from behind the three-point line, getting to the rim. Just a great, great showing by the junior from Jamestown, North Carolina.
Faith Price, our Hercules Tires performer of the game, 18 points, part of a big effort. Staves has trapped that. Ooh, almost a turnover. And a tie. Did she step out of bounds or a timeout called first? Wow, I don't know if she had possession to call the timeout there.
This one's just gonna, it's just gonna take a while.
I told you 48 seconds to keep you here all night.
Wow.
Because you have to have possession of the ball to call the timeout, don't you?
You would think. It was hard to see it from over here. I don't know, but obviously they got it. So.
And credit to UNC Asheville for applying constant pressure. This 10-point lead feels more like a 1-point game.
I mean, they're staying in this. Here we go. We're gonna get another look at it.
Maybe there. Okay, you see Ronnie pointing.
I mean, it looked like she was out of bounds. Hard to tell. Nonetheless, the officials gave them the timeout.
So, if you're Ronnie Fisher, your team is leading by 10, what have you learned about your squad and late game execution?
He's just got to get the ball, and he's going to draw something. You've got to set a legal screen. From this game, that's the one thing you should learn, is set a legal screen and just get the ball into the hands of one of your better free throw shooters.
So we're down to 37 seconds left. And Campbell's now out of timeouts. So is Asheville late in this game.
Tried to go for the loop pass over the top. And there's Bolden for the pressure release. They got a fouler.
Bolden gets a wide open layup, and that's something you can't do. Bolden with 10 points, a rebound away from a double-double. Not quite sure the strategy there defensively.
Asheville might be ready to concede this one.
Ivy with a deep triple, and that'll about do it. There's Bolden's double-double.
And even on a night where she struggles to score, she still is able to come up with a double-double, a turnover there.
But hold on, Debbie. Ivy to the bucket, and a foul on Fuller. She's pleading her case. Free throws for UNC Asheville.
And just when you thought it was safe to go back in the water.
The Sharks in the referee uniforms will get you there. So we have a combined, gotta do some mental math here, 49 and 50 free throw attempts in this game.
Wow, you don't see that every day.
Cuts it back to a 10-point game on this foul.
Steal, turnover. There was the foul right there. Nuremberg. And with 6 seconds to go, I'm assuming Asheville will just step back, let this go. And Campbell, after a toughly fought contest, will secure the 10-point win.
They end a 2-game losing streak. Campbell defends home turf tonight, 70-60. For my analyst and good friend Debbie Taylor, thanks for coming down tonight. Evan Bodrovich reminding you this is a presentation of ESPN. Taya Bolden out of nowhere got a double-double late in the game. Campbell a 10-point win, 70-60. You can watch this game on the ESPN app. For all of us in Buies Creek, we say good night as Campbell improves to 9-2 in the Big South.